Hi, Samir. It's a pleasure to have you today. We'll ask you a few questions related to the current trend of AI and how it is impacting graduating students, colleges. So, my first question to you is, how is AI changing campus hiring overall?
See, if you look at it, AI is not really eliminating or reducing campus hiring as such. What it's doing is it's reshaping campus hiring. What it's doing is it's changing what employable means today. So earlier hiring was based on degrees, it was based on curriculum, it was based on what we feel that you're employable for. But now, after AI, what's happening is that expectation from someone to be more job ready is changing, right? Today, companies don't look at you as just a degree holder because they can't afford in today's world to let you be there on a longer ramp up, right? Because people expect to be more productive. Overall environment has changed in terms of how companies are looking at productivity and growth. The world has changed. A lot of things have changed, particularly in the growing markets in India, because what we are talking about and what our context is for. And I would say that's the main bigger impact that's happening. That companies coming to college campus for recruitment are now looking at students who are job ready.
Okay. So, what are the different streams, different departments that are being impacted by this?
I would say, a lot of companies are now using AI for designing automation, simulation, and both electronics and mechanical is getting impacted a lot because people now don't expect freshers to come in and be there for learning and then they can consume them and use them for like years to come, right? So there's definitely impact there. And then, of course, one of the other ones that we really need a lot of analytical knowledge was BI and AI related fields, right? The impact is definitely there's a growing demand there, but expectation is a lot more higher there, right? The jobs are available, but people expect you to be much more sharper, much more smarter. Like just learning Python is no more supposed to be employable, for example, right? Now coming back to MBAs, right? How are MBAs getting affected? One of the biggest two streams or two branches within MBAs used to be sales and marketing, right? Besides HR and finance and so on and so forth. There are so many AI automation tools available for marketing in the market today that your functional skills, your knowledge, be it very core marketing knowledge, be it content writing, designing. I think a lot of AI tools are already automating this and they are getting better. That's the worst part, right? So while AI will be creating, but you still need to know how well you can use AI, right? Again, the same thing comes back that yes, it's getting impacted, but the thing is how functional knowledge of your job, of your environment, of the subject matter expertise, I think that's still going to be, and that is what employability or being employable is what we are talking about today. And similarly in sales, right? Sales, the main, again, the same skill set, the experience that you had time for a fresher to be there in your organization and to learn through. I think that's also getting impacted now, right? You don't have that time to give to someone because somebody else, your competitor, is probably 5 times faster, right? So you want freshers in sales and marketing today to come with that knowledge already, where from day one you're job ready, right? Similarly goes to HR and finance. HR and finance, most of the tools that are available for HR, for recruitment, for general HR generalists, these are all tools which are already automating a lot of work for you, right? So you coming in with just expectation of I will be trained, I think that's not going to happen anymore. And I would say those are the areas that are definitely getting impacted. And colleges need to think through that. Colleges and students more, and their parents as well, they need to be aware of what is it that the student is getting ready for, right? And I would say those are the areas that are definitely impacted.
Okay, so at entry level jobs, what are the skills that are non negotiable?
So one of the things that definitely anyone who's going for his first job should be aware of is learn about some new AI tools related to your job. Like, for example, ChatGPT or automation tools like Claude. If you want to use a lot more, content skill-based and knowledge-based and creation in terms of, content. Of course, for computer science, GitHub, that's important for you to know. Copilot, GitHub Copilot. For research and BI, etc., like Perplexity, one of the main change that definitely we are all looking for is students who are more aware of the job, right? It's not that students or freshers are not aware of the environment because they do internship. However, if you really go back and really look into it, those environments of internships are very limited. Like they are closed environment that most of the students get exposed to. A lot of times they're not even confident enough to ask for more, get exposed to more. Very few, maybe 5 to 10% are at that level that they are introduced to other things in the organization besides just given the most basic stuff to do, right? They don't even get introduced to organizational structures. They don't know about KPI, KRAs. They don't understand how to collaborate with other teams. They don't know anything beyond just that little internship duration of work that they're given, right? So I would say going to an extra mile to know their 30, 60, 90 day, I think those are the things that people are looking for to get more employability in freshers.
So are you hiring fewer freshers because of AI?
Not that we're hiring less or very few, but I would definitely say companies have become very selective. Right? Earlier, instead of hiring 50 candidates who are fresher from multiple colleges, now you'll be going for 20, but will be very selective, right? We'll be looking for people who can start to contribute and start to make an impact. Or when I say impact, it's not like large impacts, but at least coachability, understanding, adaptability, that should be faster in those candidates. And I think we're definitely looking for people because we expect people to be more aware of these things because social media, learning platforms, and overall viewpoint of knowledge, I think that's changed a lot in today's world. So who's right there? Who's ready for the day one on their first job? I think those are the kind of people that we'll be looking for more.
All right. So this is a very important question. How can colleges, place comms, they can prepare their students for interviews better these days?
Well, I would say one, train them on AI tools, right? Add that into the curriculum. Make sure it is not just one-off, but part of their overall, maybe the final year, learning cycle, right? Second, bring in a lot more interaction and a lot more real industry practitioner experience, right? Have more people come in, let them talk to more people, not like from an internship or a very, not that colleges are not doing it, but I would say the intent of a college should be to make them job ready, right? That completely changes when you start putting the job ready element in it, right? Just by bringing and talking about is not going to help, right? It should not be an FII session. It should be a session where the intention and the intent of the person or people or the event is only to make them more job ready. I think that shift is very important. Second, make them job ready at all things that you're doing, especially in the final year, right? Even though they're doing internships and all, it is not about just making sure that they've gone and completed and there's a tick mark, right? It should be a debrief, right? Have a tie-up with someone who's an industry expert to go and debrief in terms of whether the internships were even relevant. What have they learned from that? Make sure that students go back and revisit that experience, and that happens periodically in your college throughout the year until you are ready for your campus, right? So make sure they are aware of resumes, how to make them on their own. I mean, there are so many automated tools available as well. But it's about how you're writing about your own experience is very important, right? AI can't write your experience if you don't tell him how to, right? Similarly, LinkedIn outreaches, that confidence that comes in to say, hey, let me explore a website and see what jobs are available and see if I am able to have a conversation directly with an HR head through LinkedIn, right? And just explore. A lot of kids are doing it, but I would say at the fresher level, I would say they still like to go through the campus recruitment, team or so on and so forth. Or once they're out and they maybe have a tenure guy would probably do it, but not like a real fresher. And then, the intention of colleges should be that final year students at any period of that year, every semester, are they inching towards job readiness from day one? Like how many of my students are job ready from day one in whatever stream that they want to pursue, be it sales, marketing, or engineering related streams, so on and so forth.
So if colleges are looking to redesign, if they have to redesign their approach to graduating students, getting them better placed, getting them the roles that they desire, how should they look at it? What should they do?
In continuation to what we've been talking about earlier, right? The end goal is employability, have you changed this year in 2026 that employability of the students is more evident? I think that's the approach colleges and students should have together. Uh, I would say what we've been doing is an enhancement of the same, right? Internship, but internship 2.0, which is going on and not just a certificate that you complete and you forget, right? But what has happened in internship should then be periodically discussed and gotten ready for the next one, right? So it's the internship is not just being done and completed and taken a certificate or some sort of experience for sure, but it should be something that we are talking about day in, day out after that as well until you have your first interview ready for yourself, right? So a lot more is how much do you know about the role in depth, right? When we talk about employability, when we talk about job readiness from day one, we are talking about when you join an organization, how much help do you need to be trained on, right? Are you looking for training to know the role, or you already know the role and you're looking for training to do the role better? I would say that's the mindset change we're looking at. So for every role, there should be very detailed plan which continuously keeps talking about your KRAs, your KPIs, your team org structure. How do you collaborate with other teams for every role? What is required for you to be successful? What typically will be your KPIs and KRAs? Where do you stand in the organization, and how do you scale in the organization, right? A lot more in depth and maybe a lot more functional as well, not just stuff that is on the top, but really, like if I'm a sales rep, I should know the job from day one, day two, day three, day four until the first quarter is finished, because that's where I get marked on my performance, right? Similarly, for an HR recruiter, a recruiter in IT, the person should know what tools are available from day one. If I'm given a task, am I able to do that task? Maybe a small one, but am I able to say I'm ready for the job versus, well, I will learn from you, right? I think that's the approach shift that we're talking about. A lot more live simulations of the job, a lot more realistic mock calls from industry experts who've been there, done that, who will correct you, and not just a YouTuber or a YouTube video, or someone that just comes in, gives you one lesson or session and then moves out, right? There's no relevance in 50 people in a class and how many really pick it and how many really make it as a part of their daily routine, I think. And then of course preparing themselves for the interviews and outreaches and so on and so forth.